Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Diary of a Niger Wedding Planner. I am your host for today, Abisola, and with me here is Mrs. Mercy Layemo. Yes, Mrs. Mercy Layemo. Welcome to the show, ma.
Thank you.
Yeah, Mrs. Layemo is a legal officer and a lecturer as well. Thank you for coming again once again, ma.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So the first question before we go into today's business
Okay.
is that when you told your parents that you wanted to become a lawyer, what was their reaction? How did they react to that?
Okay. Um, it was not a personal decision. I grew up to know that I was going to be a lawyer. I was going to read law. So there was really no other option. There was really no other course that I would have studied. My dad always said I was going to be a lawyer since I could mention my name, so that I could say my name. So I don't think it was any issue for them. I think they would have had a question if I had come and said, okay, I was not studying law or I was not reading law and I wanted to read English. They will ask me that what happened. So yes, we didn't have any issues as to the course of study.
So they embraced your vision.
Yes.
Okay, that was nice. Okay, now straight to business. Okay, ma, for the basics, this show has to do with wedding planning
Mm-hmm.
and basically event industry. So for people who are startup, you
Mm-hmm.
know, why do you think it is necessary for them to legally register their business?
Okay, for many reasons. Number one, it shows that you are a reputable business if you are registered. If you are not registered, it means you can do and undo. You are not traceable. But if you are registered or when you are registered, it shows that okay, you are a reputable brand that can be trusted. And then another reason why it is very important for those that are just starting up to register their brands is also because you might need investors and they want to check your books. They want to see how well you've been doing over the years. If you say you're in business for 2 3 years and you cannot account for the money that comes to your business, you can't account for what you use the money to do, it still goes to show that you are not probably a reputable person. So when you have your business registered, it puts you in a good light and
In the
before
public?
people. So it shows that yes, you are a brand that can be trusted, you are traceable, and then you are accountable to someone. So yes, it's very important for those that are just starting up in events management to have their business name registered.
Okay, so you heard that you have to register your business so
Yes.
people can trust your business.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you for that, ma'am.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
the second question is that why is it necessary? Why? Okay, my best friend now wants me to plan a birthday or a wedding.
Mhm.
Why is it important that I draft a contract? Okay,
Okay.
I might not use, okay, I might say because this person is my best friend, I
Mhm.
don't want to do contract. I don't want contract part. Once everything is legal, there's contract.
Mhm.
Even terms and condition, how we used to do this. Okay, so ma, why do I have to draft a contract through my lawyer as a planner to my client? Because okay, it might be my best friend, and I don't want to put contracts. I don't want contracts based business. So why do you think it's necessary for me to draft a contract through my lawyer to my client?
Okay, very fantastic question. And I'm going to start by saying, even if it is your husband, if it is your wife, if it is your dad, those ones are still closer than your friend.
Yeah.
You should draft a contract. This is because it is very easy to um, assume that everything will go on well. When it comes to events management and it comes to planning of events, it is very easy for there to be miscommunication. It's very easy to misrepresent what someone intends. It's very easy to mistake what someone intends. What contract does is not really when you have contracts when with close family members or with friends, it's not necessarily because you want to tie them down or because you want to let's go to court when there's an issue, but really it is that you want to specify terms and conditions. You want to specify communication so that one person will not come tomorrow and say, oh, you said this, and now there's nothing to back up I said this. But once we have our terms and conditions well spelled out in a contract, it is very easy to resolve conflicts. I can easily say, oh,
Okay.
you said you were going to give me 100,000, and the other person said, no, you were joking, you were laughing. But if you have it written down, your friend cannot assume that you signed something and you were joking with it. I can say it and it can be a joke. But once you sign, we are very clear on our terms. So it helps prevent conflict. It makes room for easy resolution of conflict. That's why it's advisable that irrespective of the relationship you have with the person, please have a contract. And it's also very important when they are family members or friends, because what someone outside might not do to you is
Okay.
very easily somebody that is close to you, because oh, we have the relationship, I can take advantage of it. But once you have it written down black and white, you can't say I didn't say it. So
Hmm.
yes, it is very important.
Important. Okay, do I need a lawyer to draft the contract, or I can just draft out a contract myself? Maybe I use my Google, to
Okay,
draft out a
okay.
contract. Do I need a lawyer?
Okay, so when it comes to documents, you can easily get sample templates online.
Mm.
Like I always tell people, um, you can learn on the job.
Okay.
So when people show you small shege, when you see small pain here and there, you will know that okay, maybe I should get a
A
lawyer.
lawyer.
And then you
Oh.
can also upgrade the document as you go. So when you get an experience from one client,
Mm.
you know what to tweak when next you want to give maybe the contract to
Another
another
client.
person. It's always advisable to get a lawyer, always advisable, because you may not know so much. But we have seen people that are, I'm going to say this carefully, you've seen people that they are able to draft better terms and agreements than lawyers.
Really?
Yes, yes, because some people, depending on the kind of person you are getting, if you want to get somebody, let's say you want to get somebody from a top law firm to draft a simple contract for you, what they will charge you will be more than what somebody random will draft for you. So depending on the kind of person you are going for, if you have the money, hire a lawyer. But if you don't have the money, I would advise that there are sample templates that you can see online. But depending also on the context of the event, you can't want to have an event that involves, say, the state government, or that involves a top client, and you want to go on Google to download templates. You probably
That's,
won't, because now
yes.
the client will be paying for the
Mm.
service. So why don't you get a lawyer to draft a context-based contract for you? So they will be taking into consideration the context of the event. But if it's just a simple get together, simple birthday, simple vendor, this thing that is not really technical, maybe small circle something, I think you should be able to get something that makes sense,
Okay.
a sample template online.
Thank you so much for that as well.
Yeah.
So do I also require contract for my vendors? For instance, in case a vendor, as a planner now,
Okay.
and a vendor decide to mess up on the event day, if I don't have contract with the person, I think I can't punish the person, right? Because it's not legally binded. So I feel like, do you think I should also transfer this thing? This is between, the first question was between
You and your
the client
client.
and myself, then myself and a vendor. Do you think I should do that as well? I should have
Yes, in
contract.
fact, your contract is not limited to your clients and vendors. It also includes your team members, that is those that are working with you. Yes, because if, for instance, it's on a, let's say it's a monthly employment or a yearly contract of employment, or you engage people that will work with you based on the event you have. So let's say you don't have a person to pamper your bride, and then when you want to have an event, you just randomly hire somebody 24 hours. Yes, you must have country, you must definitely, very importantly, draft contracts with them. Why is it important to have a contract with your vendors? You also need to state the terms and conditions, that you want to have with your contract, with your vendors rather, depending on the instruction from the client. Some clients come with their own vendors. They
Oh,
just need you to coordinate.
yeah.
So any fault or any mistake on
Yes.
the fault or on the part of
Part
the
of the
vendor,
vendor.
it's not your responsibility.
Yes.
But in the event where you are the one that has now introduced the vendor, you are the one, the client has paid you to pay the
Pay the vendor.
vendor, so that
And you're
you
bringing
don't
the
have
vendor on
an
board.
issue of yam pepper scatter
Scatter,
scatter.
scatter.
You want to have clear terms that, guy, you're supposed to be here for 10 a.m. If you are not there for 10 a.m., then
And
I'm not paying your balance. Everybody will be on their toes.
toes, yes.
And also, when, let's say, for instance, if a vendor flops and they're supposed to be at an event and maybe 2 days to the event, they're telling you one story, you want to be able to make them accountable. You don't want somebody to leave you home and dry and say, because you've not paid me,
Yes.
because, and well, you agreed that we'll just pay you a particular sum
Certain number.
and you're supposed to deliver. You
Yeah, that's
can't
why there's a
pull,
payment
yes, you
plan.
can't pull the plug on me
Yeah.
Monday to the event. What should I do? Should I go to the where should I get a vendor to
Yeah.
replace at this? So yes, it is very important
Okay.
that you also have contracts with your vendors, with your team members, and with your clients as well.
All right. So, what's the bare minimum
Okay.
action that a startup entrepreneur or an event planner,
Okay.
what's the action they should take, like right now, if they want to start a business?
Okay. So if you want to start a business from the legal perspective, I would always advise that you have clear vision, mission. So even if you want to do business because you want to be able to earn a living, still have a goal in mind. Else, you will start a business and you will eat your capital. So I would advise that if you want to start a business, first have a vision, mission statement. What is it you want to achieve? What is it you want to um, make out of what you are doing? What's your output like? There really must be something that you want to achieve, and then in achieving that, you now begin to put structure. Many businessmen and women, many marketmen and women have structure. So if you can put structure in place, it makes it easier for you to upscale and then register your business. You can have a fantastic name and be playing around the name, and then by the time you want to register, somebody else has registered. So register your business, put structure in place, everything that you're supposed to do legally, say file annual return, get your tax identification number, do everything, ensure that you are not on the wrong side of the law, so that by the time you have people that want to invest in you, you will be a good fit. So that's my advice for business owners.
Thank you so much for
Thank you
that.
too.
Yes, so you heard it. You have to have a clear vision and goal before you start your business. Make sure you know what you want to achieve. And so with that, we've come to the end of today's show. Thank you for coming again,
Thank you.
ma.
Thank you for having
Yes.
me.
Kindly comment, like, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Diary of a Niger Wedding Planner. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.